morning everyone, and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Bank Holiday Monday, the 5th of May 2025. I'm currently in Amsterdam, where the local time is about 5:05, and today we are returning to the UK and going back to the International Stadium, where it is the big one today. It is Gateshead versus Southend United in the National League. It is the last day of the regular National League season. It is essentially a playoff for the playoffs. So a massive day for both clubs, both sets of fans, just both sets of players, just absolutely everyone. So without further ado, let's get into this and let's get that plane back over to the UK. So here in Gateshead and going into this final round of National League fixtures, Gateshead are in 8th place in the National League table, just outside of the playoffs, while Southend are in 7th place in the National League table, which is of course the final playoff spot. Just 1 point is the difference, and so it's quite simple this afternoon. It is win or bust for Gateshead. There's nobody beneath us that could potentially hijack that last playoff spot, so yeah, I think obviously Southend are coming up here with something to hold on to this afternoon, whereas we've just got to go for it. I think, you know, at the start of the game, or as it progresses at 0-0, you might sort of see us maybe starting to take a few more risks just to try and get that all-important goal. But if we do go 1-0 up, then I think the mindset for both sides will maybe change a little bit, obviously, because then we'd be the ones that would have something to hold on to, whereas a Southend would have to go for it. So it's going to be a pretty intense afternoon for all involved, but I'm not going to lie, there is a part of me that is just looking forward to this season being over and done with, regardless of when that ends for us and in what circumstances, because as I've said a couple of times already in previous videos, there is a hell of a lot that needs going over at this football club this summer, and at the end of this video, regardless of whether we've got another games come at the back end of next week or not, I am going to go over a few things of what I personally think needs dealing with at this football club, because there is, as I said, quite a lot. But in the meantime, we have just got to focus on this game. We're in the top 7 for 45 consecutive games and have only just fallen out, and yet it is still to a degree in our hands to finish in the playoff spots. But it is down to the players. They don't need another reminder that a lot of the performances, probably since March really, just have been plain not good enough. I know obviously there was a bit of a turnover in January, so I can maybe forgive a bit of a dip in form around that time, but you know, some of the results and some of the performances in March and April were really, really poor, and there is absolutely no hiding place for that. But as it is, we've got one more chance to put things right, one more throw at the dice. Incidentally, if we were to if we were to win this game this afternoon, then we would be away to Rochdale in the playoffs a week on Thursday. Obviously that would be the 4th versus 7th game. Then if we were to then go and beat Rochdale, we'd be away to Forest Green Rovers in the semi-final on Wednesday the 21st of May. Then of course the final is at Wembley on Sunday the 1st of June. As for Southend, the chances are, if they are the ones that claim the playoff spot, they'll obviously be facing Rochdale. But if a situation occurs where Southend win and Halifax lose down at Wealdstone, then Southend would overtake Halifax in the table into 6th place, which would mean I think they'd go to Oldham in the playoffs. I mean, they could still, strictly speaking, overtake Oldham as well, but I think there does have to be a little bit of a swing in the goal difference in order for that to happen, so it's not particularly likely, especially with Oldham playing at home to Ebbsfleet this afternoon. You would imagine Oldham will do what they need to do in order to get the job done in that one, but to a degree I am actually kind of glad that we are facing our direct rival for that last playoff spot this afternoon, because it just means it is strictly us and them. We're not like having to rely on other teams doing us a favour or anything like that, which I suppose is a good thing really, because then you ain't got the crowd constantly checking their phones or anything like that. It is essentially a playoff for the playoffs really, isn't it? But as we say, it's going to be an interesting afternoon to say the least. It'll be interesting to see how both sides set up, knowing what's on the line and what they respectively need to do in order to achieve that. So let's head down to the International Stadium and find out how it all unfolds. So the teams are now out warming up. Southend are getting ready in this half. Going to be in a red away strip this afternoon, and Gateshead are getting ready over there. Of course, we are going to be in our white and black home strip. Good turnout from the Southend fans. I think they've sold 1,800 tickets or something like that. So fair play to them making the long journey on a bank holiday. I think we sold a fair few as well. Anyway, I'll see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel and ready to start the match. Come on, wake up, man! Come on, Gateshead! Wake up, man! I don't know. 1
come in.
Half-time, Gateshead 0, Southend United 0. You know what, I'm actually glad that we've only got another 45 minutes to endure watching this lot, because yet again the effort isn't there, the heart isn't there, and we are exceptionally lucky that we're not behind. Southend have been a better team by an absolute country mile. We've got absolutely nowhere near them. We've had one shot which Joe Van Malcolm blazed an absolute mile over the bar. Whenever we do look as though we're getting forward, we just slow the play down. There's absolutely no shape there. It is so bad to watch, and you wouldn't think that we're the ones that need the win in order to get in the playoffs, because the way this is going so far, Southend are actually the ones that are playing with a bit of urgency, whereas we're just looking to slow things down at every given opportunity. It is absolutely baffling. Like, we've got to start taking risks. We've only got 45. If we want to be in the playoffs, we've only got 45 minutes left in which to do it. I mean, as time progresses, maybe Southend will start sitting back a little bit more. They're not taking as many risks and what have you. But we have been so bad in this game so far, and that's been the story of the second half of this season. So the only good thing is that it is still 0-0, and there is still that chance, but honestly at this moment in time I just cannot see where that goal comes from or that moment of spark.
Shelby's up as well. Too close to the goal.
Full-time Gateshead 0, Southend United 0. First things first, I would just like to say well done to Southend and the supporters. I know that's a football club that in recent times has really been through the mill. So to a degree, I'm pleased for them that they've finally got a little bit of joy out of something. It's a shame that it came at our expense, but that's not really their problem. Ultimately, over the course of a 46-game season, they just did that bit more than us to justify a playoff spot. And I think in terms of the game on the day, I think they played it right all in all. I think early on in the game, they started brightly. They were winning a lot of corners and that sort of thing, picking a lot of balls out to their left-hand side, obviously our right-hand side, knowing that they could exploit us that way. Obviously, we didn't really have a natural right wing back on the pitch, and I think they tried to thrive off that. But I think after a while, it was maybe becoming a bit abundantly obvious that they were probably not going to win the game on the day. And I think a lot of that has to, a lot of the credit for that does have to go to George Shelby in the Gateshead goal today, because I thought he had a really good game, and I thought, in my personal opinion, was the man of the match for us, for Kenton Richardson as well. One of only a few players that you could actually say left it all out there, and I think he took what didn't look the best kind of injury for the cause. So I can appreciate him on that, but. The fact of the matter is there is a lot to go over at Gateshead Football Club this summer. I think there's a lot of elephants in the room that need addressing, both on and off the pitch. And I think the fact that you look at where we were after the win on Boxing Day, I think we're just 4 points off of the top of the league or something like that. We're in a very, very good position. It was almost unfathomable that we'd even drop out of the playoffs, but yeah, everyone, from players to management to the board, have got to take accountability for what's happened in the second half of the season. I think obviously a lot of players left in January, as I think unfortunately we were expecting. The exact same thing happened last year, but last year the difference was last year we replaced them accordingly, and we recovered from the situation, and if anything looked even better, whereas this year we replaced genuine quality players, your Owen Assenis, your Callum Whelans, Ben Radcliffe's, those kinds of players, with players that were just not up to the same standard, to tell you the truth. But that being said, there was just far too many times, I think, especially from March onwards, where too many players just weren't really pulling their weight on the pitch, and it's been such a long time since you could say that about a Gateshead team, and genuinely mean it. I know I maybe said it a couple of times out of frustration last season, the season before, and even the season before that. But I think this year, over the last few weeks especially, there's just been players that have gone missing, and we bottled it. It's this. That's the only way you can put it. From the position we were in, we should have had a playoff spot sewn up weeks ago, and yet now here we are, not even in the playoffs at all. But I think in terms of off the pitch matters, we need to know within days what actually is the crack with this whole takeover situation. I think this, obviously, as a football club, we maybe we pride ourselves of being war club for the fans, that kind of thing. If that's the case, why should the fans that pay good money to watch this football club week in, week out, travel the length of the country to the likes of Aldershot and these kinds of places, why should we be left in the dark over what's actually going on with this takeover situation? Because the thing is, you can't keep things under wraps at this particular level for long. Eventually, word does get out, and there's no smoke without fire. So I think we deserve a bit more transparency with what's going on there. But I think whoever's running the show next season, whether it's the current board, like this consortium that apparently wants to come in, or even if it's just someone totally different altogether, the overall communication within this football club needs to improve tenfold, because there's just been so many situations like this season and even like last season, the season before, and what have you, where like the overall, like how disorganised things have looked, like being left in the dark over certain things. It is a deeply unprofessional look, and I'm sorry to say it, but my personal opinion is that I will always be thankful to the current board, like for things, such as the National League North winning season, re-establishing us at National League level. Some of the sort of talent that we have got to enjoy on the pitch over the last few years or so. Some of the results, obviously, getting to Wembley twice in the FA Trophy final, obviously winning one of those. But I think, like with everything, there just comes a time, and I think we are now reaching that time, because it's plain simple. Like the budget that we're on now will not keep us like in around challenging for playoff spots forever, and I think unless something does change soon on that front, then we are going to be in a pretty depressing relegation battle next season. It does sound like if the current board had to stay on, then there would be budget cuts. But I guess with that, maybe the only kind of positive you could take is that it might, to a degree, even give us, like, let us sort of lean back more towards our actual identity, which is bringing through maybe younger, locally based players that will give their all for the badge. Because I think I've got to be honest, I think we've maybe lost sight of that over this last year or so, and I think there's been like too many passengers in this team that have almost just been there and like just look until something better comes along, or something where they can get more money. But I mean, there are some exceptions. I think today, like you could see, like as I said, George Shelby had a really good game today. Kenton Richardson gave his all. Tim Akinole, it wasn't his best game today, but again, over the last few weeks, he's been one of those players that has come in and has at least given it a go. Luke Hannon has been a pretty ever-present all year. I think he's won a lot of the Player of the Year awards, and that's another point I'll get onto in a second. So that's, having a Player of the Year award directly after a game of that magnitude, in which we haven't got the outcome that we wanted. I think you just got to read the room a little bit, haven't you? There was people absolutely fuming, at full time today. Not so much with today's game, I don't think, but I think over the course of this second half of the season, like today isn't the reason that we've missed out on the playoffs. It is a combination of a lot of things over the second half of the season, just giving goals away far too cheaply, players not really pulling their weight, just all in all, lack of quality, tactical ineptitude. The list could go on, but ultimately, it's not like any of the teams that have got in's problem that we've missed out, nor is it the problem of any of the sides that have beaten us along the way that ultimately have finished above in the table. It is like we've collectively as a football club shot ourselves in the foot, and it does hurt right now. And I think it will take a good few days to get over. But on a personal level, I just want to enjoy what's left of my personal season. Still a couple more European trips to come and that kind of thing. But I would just like to thank the Gateshead fans that have supported my channel over the course of the season, the people that I've travelled up and down the country with to away games, the people I'm up with at home games, etc. So like there'll always be that side of it, no matter what, no matter how good or bad things are on the pitch, off the pitch. You'll always have your pals at the football, so I'll always be dead appreciative of them. But yeah, as I said, this is a football club that needs to address a lot of things. But once again, well done to Southend, and good luck in the playoffs. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Wednesday night with the North Riding Macmillan Bowl final between Borough Rangers under 23s and Redcar Town Reserves. That game being played at Northallerton Town. So until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.